Hello, are you freestyling all of your live streams? I'm going to show you how in just 5 minutes of pre-planning, you can increase your views, engagement, and even the lifespan of this live stream. So stay tuned and find out. Hello, I am Charlene Tessier, the founder of Strength and Numbers, and I'm helping you use strategic live streams to find your fans online. So are you using live stream and do you normally just freestyle it? You just decide on a whim, I'm going to go live today. You press that button and you just start randomly talking. And how do you think people feel when they're watching it? A little bit of a mistake there, sorry. So how do you think people feel when they're watching that kind of random live stream? Do you think they're engaged or confused? Probably they're confused, and there's a few reasons why. When you do it without pre-planning, and there's gonna be most likely a lot more of rambling on. Sorry, I forgot that. It was a little bit of a last time. There we go. It's still very hard to do this with these banners. I find it's not the greatest in terms of the flow of a live stream, but I'm still trying to find a workaround, as you know from my past video about web captioner. And I wish that we did have something because I have been noticing quite an increase in views by having these banners. And so without them, oh, it's this way for you guys. Without them, it just makes it a bit weird. But anyways, so what's probably happening is if you don't have it pre-planned, you start to have some rambling ons, you start to have some very unclear ideas. And what your audience really, really wants, the person who's coming to watch you and see you really wants to know this one idea that you're trying to convey to your audience. What's the one thing you want to tell them in this live stream? And don't go on about all kinds of things because that just is very confusing and it makes for a little bit of a boring live stream because they're a little bit lost, to be honest. So I'm going to share with you a very basic framework for pretty much all videos, even YouTube. You'll notice if you watch a lot of really good YouTubers and you start to kind of break down how they're doing it, or there's certain YouTubers or live streamers that you really like, you'll notice they use this very similar framework, which has 4 main simple parts and always has the same 4 parts in the same particular order. The first part is the hook. That's what you heard me talk about at the very beginning. Gave this little one-liner. Now, the hook is super, super important. If you don't have very much time to pre-plan your live streams, then I recommend you dump that full 5 minutes into the hook. The reason for that is because if you don't catch that person right away, they won't stay and they won't watch your video. So the hook is super important, and it's even more important than the meat of the video, even though most people spend the most time on the meat of the video. If that hook is really not very engaging, not very clear, people don't know what's going to be happening in this live stream or in this video, they won't stick around to watch it. And you really don't have much time to convince them. You have probably less than 10 seconds. So work on that hook. It's really key. The second thing is you need to have a very clear and concise intro about yourself. And this does take time. You probably have noticed if you've been watching my live stream, I've been tweaking it and changing it ever so slightly. And what you should be saying in your intro in pretty much less than 10 seconds is who you are and who you serve. So who should be watching this video? Who should be watching this live stream? Who are you trying to connect with? The more specific you are, the easier it is. And what is it that you do to help them? So work on that and don't be afraid to change it, right? Don't be afraid to um, try slight variations and try different ones and see what resonates with people. And a little tip is that when I talk to, or when I do my live stream, I am actually talking to a very specific person that I have in my audience, and I always speak to her. It makes it much, much easier to speak to a single person, a real person, than it is to speak to an avatar. An avatar is very, for me, especially just so, I don't know, abstract. I can't speak to somebody like that. And I really struggled with presenting online more so than in person because of this facelessness of the camera. And once I actually started to create um, this person, not an avatar, I actually found speaking a lot more easier and just lot more natural, as you may have noticed. The third thing is you want to get to the meat of the live stream, right? So this is the main bulk. That's what I'm talking about now. We're in the meat of it. I'm showing you the way I said to based on what I said at the beginning, which was that 5 minutes of pre-planning is going to help you increase your views and engagement and increase the lifespan of your video. And so that's the meat we're talking about. And a little tip for this is just focus on one idea. So in this video, right, I'm only focusing on that you should have a framework. I'm not going into extreme depths about how does a hook work and how to build an amazing hook or how to really deep dive into your intro. All of those are separate ideas, and live stream will be just way too long if you go into such in-depth ideas. But second of all, just having a very clear one idea delivers this value to your fans. They know exactly what you're delivering to them. And what's really great is that now that I've given this framework, here's a slight little kind of tip off, is that I can now do a live stream for each of the 4 parts, talking a bit more in depth about the hook. And the hook, I could possibly talk about 5 different live streams, 5 different ways to get hooks. You know, there's so many ways to break it down into a very small singular idea. And the more specific that idea can be, the more engaging that it will be also for the audience. And for this ideas, right, of course, mix it up. Use story, use questions, use stats to make the meat a bit more interesting. And now we're going to go on to the last one, which a lot of people do forget about. And number 4 is to do a call to action. Ask people to do something. Always have a call to action. A lot of people don't ask their audience to do anything, and we're not asking them to do something complicated like buy this or have, you know, very complicated, maybe you don't have your free gift ready or something, so you say, oh, I can't do a call to action. That's not true. You can ask a very simple call to action. And so some ideas of simple calls to action would be just join my private Facebook or LinkedIn group, get my free tips. Here's a free worksheet you can access right away without opt-in, right? Just give the share link on Google Docs where they can just view it and make a copy of it. There's almost no setup of that, right? You can say, tell me something in the comments about yourself, or ask them a question and ask them to put that into the comments. The other thing you can have is to follow me on LinkedIn, right? Get more followers. So those are all very low level asks. They can have a call to action every time and not have to really have a lot of setup. So if you can, always take 5 minutes to pre-plan your next live stream, and you will notice quite an increase in views and engagement because it's a lot more cleaner and concise and follows a framework that your audience is going to get a lot of value from. As you know, I have my live event coming up at the end of this month. It's one day only. I have 8 panel experts who are going to show you, and 8 panel experts who are inviting you to bring their questions about your marketing for filling your course, workshop, or a live event. This is a one day only live panel. I recommend that you get the ticket really soon because you don't want to miss this opportunity. Down below in the comments will be a link for you to sign up. Till then, I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.